There are a lot of games that are based on true stories. Yes, many games that you might already know of are based on true life. Whether they are about wars or some horror stories, we are going to look at some of the most creepy games that might haunt you in your sleep. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the list of top 10 games that are based on true stories. At number 10 we have LA Noire. As the name suggests LA, the game is set in a crime-oriented city of Los Angeles. While most detective games would target something like Jack the Ripper, LA Noire had a lot more to it. The game targets more than just simple crime scenes. You can look at some of the most gruesome and weird cases like the Black Dahlia murder, which has remained unsolved to this day. The murder case starts with a woman's body that was badly beaten with a message written on her chest. Quite weird, isn't it? The game is quite interesting once you get the gist of it, and the best part about LA Noire is that it lets you immerse into the world of murders. So for all the detective, this one is surely a gem. At number 9 we have 1979 Revolution Black Friday. The 1979 Revolution is the game based on Iranian Revolution which changed the world and the country forever. You play as a photojournalist when the war begins, and now you are seeing the whole incident with your own eyes. Iranian Revolution was one of the most important historical events in the Middle East, and the game was inspired by Naveed Hosari's experience as a child during the revolution. It's quite creepy yet interesting sight to see, right? At number 8 we have Assassin's Creed 3. Now you must be like, really? The game was based on a true story all along? Well, yes, at least partly. There's a downloadable story that follows the imagination of George Washington, who is America's first president. It follows Desmond, Miles and Connor as they go to the Boston Tea Party to sign the Declaration of Independence. There are many real-life events in Assassin's Creed 3. That is what makes this game a mixed fictional gem of a title. Let us know if you're playing Assassin's Creed 3 in the comments down below. At number 7 we have That Dragon Cancer. That Dragon Cancer is an autobiographical game that is based on Green's experience of raising their son who is suffering from terminal cancer at only the age of 12 months. Well, that's quite rough. Even though Joel, their son, is only given a short time to stay alive, Joel magically survives 4 more years but finally loses his life to cancer in March 2014. The game is very emotional and will make sure to have tears falling out of your eyes from time to time. What I learned from That Dragon Cancer was that life is a series of ups and downs, but in the end, it goes on. At number 6 we have JFK Reloaded. As the name suggests, JFK Reloaded follows the story of assassination of John F. Kennedy. The game appoints you like the assassinator itself, which is quite creepy. Even though Lee Harvey Oswald was arrested for the assassination, the case didn't go to trial as he was already killed by Jack Ruby. Traffic Game, the studio behind this game, claimed that JFK Reloaded will be the best simulation game in the world, and they made a game that follows the murder of the president and a lot more than that. So if you want to experience what the deadly 1963 event was like, you should definitely check this game out. Number 5 we have The Saboteur. The Saboteur is set in the world where Nazis occupied Paris. The game is based on a true story and a true Norwegian hero, as the suspense-filled life is not easy for anyone. It follows the lonely tale of William Grover Williams, and in World War II you are a member of the French resistance team and your job is to destroy, assassinate and do all type of hard work. The main job is to make things living hell for Nazis who are trying to destroy everything. The game is quite big, but if you want to experience what the tale of this hero was, consider playing The Saboteur out. Number 4 we have The Town of Light. One of the creepiest games on our list, The Town of Light follows the story of Renee, who is a 16-year-old girl creeping into the scene of an asylum. She's half ghost and half human who is suffering from her memories of getting brutal punishment. It's evident from the game that Renee suffers from some type of mental illness like schizophrenia, and things are rough for her. Even though the majority part of The Town of Light is fictional, the actual asylum that you visited is based on a real hospital called Volterra. The Volterra hospital is based in Tuscany. Number 3 we have Kholat. One of the strangest events in the history was the Dilatov Pass incident. The incident has been the topic of many conspiracies, as in 1959 a total of 9 hikers in the Ural mountain disappeared. However, later on their frozen bodies were discovered, and that's where the real mystery begins. The hikers' tent were bits into pieces from the inside, and they had a total of 9 shoes left behind. Moreover, one of the hikers had her eyes and tongue removed, and that's exactly where Hola picks up. So the game is more than just a horror title. It's a whole interesting conspiracy. Number 2, we have Sherlock Holmes vs Jack the Ripper. Sherlock Holmes is one of the most popular series, movies, games, and whatever you can call it. Jack the Ripper vs Sherlock Holmes has been going down in history, and this title was released in 2009 by Frogwares, who made a masterpiece of a game. And even though the game is purely based on fiction, the interesting crossover of some of the finest detective and Jack the Ripper, who's a serial killer, makes this title really interesting. At number 1, we have Five Nights at Freddy's. I had no idea that Five Nights at Freddy's was based on a real one. As the game was inspired by Chuck E. Cheese incident, there's a lot of similarity between the game and the incident in 1993. The main story was quite creepy, as one night at Chuck E. Cheese, a 19-year-old male hid in the bathroom while 5 workers were working late. The manager was in her office and everyone was working late until the 19-year-old came and shot the teen employees. However, he was caught and was sentenced to death, but it is currently being postponed. Quite an interesting storyline, isn't it? And that's about it. So, which game are you going to play next? Let us know in the comments down below. If you liked the video, make sure to like, share and subscribe. Also, ring that bell icon if you don't want to miss our future videos. Until next time, peace.